Ladies and gentlemen, we all wake up every morning and go about our day. Some of us head to jobs we love, some to jobs we tolerate, and some to jobs that drain us. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself why you do what you do? Not what you do, not how you do it, but why. Purpose is not just a fancy word leaders throw around in meetings. Purpose is what separates those who feel alive from those who simply exist. It is the driving force behind every great innovation, every thriving business, and every fulfilled life. When we lack purpose, we move through life on autopilot. We show up, we work, we go home, and we repeat. But when we have purpose, we don't just work, we contribute. We don't just exist, we thrive. Think about the people you admire most, the leaders who inspire, the businesses that succeed, the movements that create lasting change. None of them started with a plan to make money or to gain power. They started with a purpose, a belief in something bigger than themselves. That belief is what drew people in. That belief is what made the impossible possible. But here's the challenge. Purpose isn't handed to us. No one wakes up one day and suddenly has all the answers. Purpose is something we discover, and we discover it by asking the right questions. What makes you come alive? What problem in the world makes you say, someone should do something about that? What would you keep doing even if you weren't paid for it? The answers to these questions reveal what truly matters to us. Many of us hesitate to pursue our purpose because of fear, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of stepping outside what's familiar. But here's the truth. Every great leader, every successful entrepreneur, every game changer in history faced that same fear. They simply chose not to let it stop them. They knew that purpose is bigger than fear. Companies that lead with purpose don't just sell products, they build movements. Employees who work with purpose don't just collect paychecks, they create impact. People who live with purpose don't just go through life, they shape it. And the best part? Purpose isn't reserved for the few. It's available to all of us. It's not about where you work or what title you hold. It's about what you stand for and how you choose to show up every single day. Because at the end of it all, success isn't measured by money, titles, or status. It's measured by impact, by the lives we touch, by the people we inspire, and by the legacy we leave behind. True success and happiness come not from what we do, but from why we do it. Purpose is what separates those who thrive from those who merely exist. The most inspiring individuals and organizations don't focus on profit first. They focus on a deeper belief that drives them to create real impact. By asking meaningful questions, what excites us, what problems we care about, and what we would do even without pay, we uncover our true calling. Everyone faces fear, but those who live with purpose push past it, knowing that their mission is bigger than their doubt. True success isn't measured by money or status, but by the lives we touch, the people we inspire, and the legacy we leave behind. Every morning, people wake up and go through their daily routines, commuting to work, attending meetings, handling responsibilities, and checking off tasks. But despite staying busy, many feel an underlying sense of dissatisfaction, a feeling that something is missing. They may have good jobs, financial stability, and even external success, yet a deeper fulfillment remains out of reach. This happens because success and purpose are not the same things. Purpose is what gives meaning to everything we do. It is the reason we push forward, the force that drives us beyond the ordinary, and the difference between merely existing and truly living. Without purpose, life can feel repetitive and empty. People who lack a clear purpose may achieve great things on the surface, but inside they feel lost. They follow the same path as everyone else, making decisions based on expectations rather than conviction. But those who discover their purpose experience a different reality. They wake up with energy, they work with passion, they persist through challenges not because they have to, but because they believe in something greater than themselves. The difference between a job and a calling is purpose. A job pays the bills, a calling ignites the soul. Two people can be in the same profession, doing the same work, but their experiences will be entirely different. One may see their role as just a duty, a way to make a living, while the other sees it as an opportunity to make a difference. The same applies to leadership. Some leaders focus only on results, managing tasks and enforcing rules. Others lead with purpose, inspiring people, creating vision, and building a sense of belonging. The difference isn't in what they do, it's in why they do it. People often assume that purpose is something they must wait to find, as if it will suddenly appear one day. But purpose isn't something given, it's something discovered. It comes from looking inward and asking the right questions. What excites me? What problem in the world do I care about solving? What kind of impact do I want to have on others? When people start exploring these questions, patterns emerge. They realize that certain moments in their lives made them feel truly alive. These moments are clues leading them toward a deeper understanding of their purpose. Some people fear that if they follow their purpose, they might fail. They worry about financial security, about whether their dreams are practical, about how others might judge them. But purpose doesn't mean quitting everything and starting over overnight. It means making decisions that align with what truly matters. Some may find purpose in their current job by shifting their perspective. Others may take small steps towards something new. The key is to start, because the longer people ignore their purpose, the more disconnected they feel from their own lives. When people live without purpose, they often look for fulfillment in external achievements, titles, promotions, money, or social status. But no amount of success can replace the feeling of waking up every day knowing that what you do matters. Purpose is what turns work into passion, relationships into connections, and effort into fulfillment. It is the foundation of happiness, resilience, and lasting success. Every successful business, movement, and leader that has left a lasting impact started with something deeper than just a product, a service, or a strategy. They started with purpose. The difference between companies that thrive and those that simply exist isn't in what they sell, but in what they believe. The most successful businesses and leaders don't just chase profits, they operate with a clear sense of why they do what they do. They inspire people not just with what they offer, but with what they stand for. People don't buy into companies because of what they sell, they buy into companies because of what they represent. The most beloved brands in the world have something in common. They make people feel something. Customers don't just buy their products, they connect with their mission. They see themselves as part of something bigger. When businesses start with purpose, their customers don't just see them as companies, they see them as movements. This is why some brands inspire loyalty that lasts for decades, while others struggle to survive despite having great products. The difference isn't in quality alone, it's in the emotional connection that purpose creates. The same principle applies to leadership. The greatest leaders in history didn't just manage people, they inspired them. They weren't driven by power or control, but by a belief in something greater than themselves. They communicated a vision so compelling that people wanted to be part of it. When leaders operate from a strong sense of purpose, they attract people who share their beliefs. They don't have to force motivation or demand commitment. People willingly follow because they believe in the cause. Companies that focus only on profits struggle to create lasting success because money is not a sustainable motivator. When people work only for financial gain, they lose motivation when things get tough. But when they work for something they truly believe in, they push through challenges with resilience. Businesses that prioritize purpose over profit create cultures where employees feel valued, where customers feel connected, and where innovation happens naturally. Purpose-driven businesses and leaders also make decisions differently. When success is measured only by short-term gains, decisions are made for immediate results, without considering long-term impact. But when purpose leads the way, decisions are guided by values. Purpose-driven leaders ask, does this align with what we stand for? Does this contribute to the impact we want to make? When decisions come from a place of purpose, trust is built, and trust is the foundation of loyalty, both from employees and customers. Some organizations struggle because they start with what instead of why. They focus on selling products, improving efficiency, or outperforming competitors. But the most influential businesses and leaders take a different approach. They start by defining their purpose, and everything they do is built around it. They understand that when people believe in what they do, they will go above and beyond, not because they have to, but because they want to. They create cultures where people don't just work for a paycheck, they work for a cause. People don't connect with businesses or leaders because of their success alone. They connect with those who stand for something meaningful. When leaders and companies start with purpose, they don't just attract customers or employees, they attract believers. And when people believe in something, they give their best, they stay loyal, and they become part of something bigger than themselves. Finding purpose isn't something that happens by accident. It's not something handed to us or something we stumble upon one day without effort. It requires a conscious decision to look inward and ask the right questions. Too many people go through life feeling unfulfilled, not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they haven't taken the time to understand what truly drives them. They get caught up in expectations, what society tells them they should do, what their families encourage, what seems practical or safe. But purpose isn't about doing what's expected. It's about discovering what truly matters to you. It starts with asking meaningful questions. What makes you feel alive? What are the moments in your life when you felt the most fulfilled, the most engaged, the most passionate? What problem in the world frustrates you so much that you feel compelled to do something about it? These aren't easy questions, but they are necessary ones. Purpose is often found at the intersection of passion, skills, and impact, what you love, what you're good at, and what contributes to something beyond yourself. When these three things align, you find yourself doing work that doesn't feel like work. Some people think purpose means finding one perfect job, career, or mission in life, but that's not the case. Purpose isn't tied to a specific job title or profession. It's tied to a sense of meaning that can be expressed in many different ways. A teacher might find purpose in helping students grow, but that same sense of purpose can be applied in mentoring, coaching, or leading a team. An entrepreneur might find purpose in solving a problem through business, but that same purpose can be fulfilled in philanthropy, writing, or innovation. The key isn't the job itself, it's the deeper belief behind the work. Discovering purpose also means paying attention to moments of a network error occurred. Please check your connection and try again. If this issue persists, please contact us through our help center at helpopenai.com. Fear is the single greatest obstacle that stands between people and their purpose. It is the silent force that holds people back from taking risks, from stepping outside their comfort zones, and from pursuing what truly matters to them. The fear of failure, the fear of judgment, and the fear of uncertainty can be so overwhelming that many people choose to stay where they are, even when they know deep down that they are meant for more. Fear creates excuses. Reasons why now isn't the right time, why something isn't practical, why it's safer to stick with what's familiar. But the truth is, purpose and fear will always coexist. The difference between those who live with purpose and those who don't is not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward despite it. Every person who has ever done something meaningful has faced fear. Every great leader, every successful entrepreneur, every innovator who has changed the world has had moments of doubt. They have questioned themselves, wondered if they were making the right choices, and struggled with uncertainty. But what separates them is that they refuse to let fear make their decisions for them. They understood that fear is not a stop sign, it is a signal that they are stepping into something bigger than themselves. The fear of failure is one of the most common reasons people avoid pursuing their purpose. They worry about making mistakes, about not being good enough, about investing time and energy into something that might not work. But failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the process. No one achieves greatness without setbacks. Every mistake, every challenge, every obstacle is an opportunity to learn and grow. The people who succeed are not the ones who never fail, but the ones who refuse to give up when they do. Another powerful fear is the fear of judgment. People hesitate to follow their purpose because they worry about what others will think. They fear criticism, rejection, and standing out. But living for the approval of others is the fastest way to lose sight of personal purpose. No matter what someone does, there will always be opinions, doubts, and voices telling them they should play it safe. But the people who create real impact are the ones who learn to trust their own voices more than the noise around them. Fear also thrives in uncertainty. People crave stability and predictability, and purpose often requires stepping into the unknown. It means taking risks without knowing exactly how things will turn out. It means starting something new even when there are no guarantees. But the truth is, there are never guarantees. Even the safest paths come with challenges. The difference is that when people walk a path driven by purpose, they are willing to embrace uncertainty because they know what they are working toward is worth it. The best way to overcome fear is to take action. Fear grows in the absence of action. The more people hesitate, the more fear takes control. But when people take even the smallest step toward their purpose, fear begins to lose its power. Confidence is not something people are born with. It is something that is built through action. Every step forward, no matter how small, creates momentum. It builds resilience. It proves that fear does not have to win. Living with purpose does not mean living without fear. It means making the choice every day to move forward despite it. It means believing that what you are working toward is bigger than your doubts. It means understanding that fear is temporary, but regret lasts forever. The people who live with purpose are not fearless, they are courageous. And courage is not the absence of fear, it is the willingness to act in spite of it. Success is often measured by external achievements, titles, wealth, recognition, and influence. These are the things society tells us define a meaningful life. But true success is not about how much we accumulate. It is about the impact we make. It is about the lives we touch, the people we inspire, and the difference we create in the world. Purpose is what transforms success from something temporary into something lasting. It ensures that what we do matters beyond ourselves, beyond today, beyond our own lifetime. People who live with purpose do not chase success for its own sake. Instead, they focus on creating something meaningful, something that serves others, something that leaves a legacy. The most inspiring leaders, entrepreneurs, and change makers are not driven by personal gain alone. They are driven by a desire to contribute, to build, to leave the world better than they found it. They understand that true fulfillment does not come from what we take, but from what we give. Impact is not measured by how much we achieve, but by how much we influence others in a positive way. A person can have all the success in the world, but if no one else benefits from it, if it does not create value for others, it is empty. The greatest companies, organizations, and leaders are the ones that prioritize purpose over profit, that put people before numbers, and that understand that lasting success comes from making a difference. The most successful individuals did not set out with the goal of becoming rich or famous. They set out to solve problems, to serve others, and to pursue something bigger than themselves. The wealth and recognition that followed were byproducts, not the main objective. When people focus on purpose first, success follows. But when they focus on success without purpose, they often find themselves feeling empty, no matter how much they achieve. The way people approach their work and relationships changes when they are driven by purpose. Employees who work with a sense of meaning do not just show up to collect a paycheck. They bring passion, creativity, and commitment to everything they do. Leaders who lead with purpose do not just manage tasks, they inspire and empower others to be their best. Businesses that operate with purpose do not just sell products, they build trust, loyalty, and communities that last for generations. People often underestimate the ripple effect of their actions. A single act of kindness, a word of encouragement, a decision to lead with integrity. These small moments create waves of impact that extend far beyond what we can see. A teacher who believes in a struggling student can change the trajectory of that child's life. A leader who creates a culture of trust can shape an entire organization for the better. A person who stands up for what is right can inspire others to do the same. Purpose-driven actions, no matter how small, compound over time and leave a mark on the world. Living with purpose also builds resilience. When people are driven by a mission greater than themselves, they find the strength to push through obstacles. Setbacks do not discourage them because they are not working for immediate rewards. They are working for something deeper. Challenges do not stop them because they know the impact of their work extends beyond their personal struggles. Purpose gives people the energy to keep going, even when success is not immediate. At the end of life, people rarely look back and measure their success by how much money they made or how many awards they won. They reflect on the relationships they built, the people they helped, and the ways they made a difference. Those who lived with purpose feel a sense of fulfillment, knowing that their time was spent creating something that mattered. Because in the end, the true measure of success is not what we have, but what we leave behind. Purpose is not just a concept. It is the force that drives people to create, to build, and to inspire. It is the difference between a life that is merely lived and a life that is deeply fulfilling. Every great leader, every successful entrepreneur, every individual who has left a mark on the world has been guided by something greater than themselves. They did not simply chase success, they pursued meaning. They did not measure their worth by wealth or status, but by the impact they had on others. And that impact is what truly defines a life well lived. For many, purpose feels like an abstract idea, something that is hard to define or grasp. But it is not something distant or unattainable. It is something already within, waiting to be uncovered. It is found in the moments of inspiration, in the problems that stir a deep desire to create change, in the work that brings a sense of energy and fulfillment. It is not about waiting for a perfect opportunity. It is about making choices every day that align with what truly matters. Purpose is not a destination, it is a way of living. It is the lens through which decisions are made, priorities are set, and success is measured. There will always be distractions, expectations, obligations, and societal pressures that pull people in different directions. The world constantly pushes the idea that success is about climbing higher, earning more, and achieving more. But true success is not found in titles or material gain. It is found in contribution, in impact, in making a difference that lasts beyond a single lifetime. It is found in the relationships built, the people inspired, and the legacy left behind. Fear will always be present, standing between where a person is and where they are meant to be. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of uncertainty. These are the barriers that prevent people from stepping into their purpose. But fear loses its power when it is no longer allowed to dictate choices. The most successful and fulfilled people are not those who never felt fear. They are the ones who refuse to let fear make their decisions for them. They understood that discomfort is part of growth and that purpose is worth the risk. Purpose is not reserved for the few. It is not only for those who are extraordinary, wealthy, or powerful. It is for everyone. It is for the teacher who inspires students, the artist who moves people with their work, the leader who builds trust, the entrepreneur who solves problems, and the everyday individual who makes the world better in small but meaningful ways. Purpose is not about the scale of impact, but about the intention behind it. Some change the world in grand ways, while others do so in quiet moments. But all of it matters. The journey to purpose is not always easy. It requires introspection, courage, and persistence. It requires asking hard questions and being willing to step into the unknown. It demands resilience in the face of failure and the ability to keep going even when the path is unclear. But the alternative, living without purpose, is far more difficult. A life without meaning leads to a constant search for fulfillment in things that will never provide it. It leads to a feeling of emptiness despite external success, and in the end, it leads to the realization that time was spent chasing things that did not truly matter. Every person has the ability to create impact. Every person has the opportunity to lead a life that is meaningful and fulfilling. It does not require waiting for the perfect moment or having everything figured out. It simply requires a decision to stop living by default and start living with intention. To stop following a path just because it is expected and start carving a path that aligns with what truly matters. To stop letting fear dictate choices and start letting purpose lead the way. Because in the end, what truly matters is not what was achieved, but the difference that was made.